Hello, this is the Tradesight Forex Market Preview and International Economic Data Roadmap for the week beginning Sunday, the 16th of November 2014 and ending on Friday the 21st. Charts, as usual, brought to you by eSignal. Here's a look at the US dollar daily chart, and you can see that we ran into that pink risk line from the 13 sell signal and could not get through on Friday, so that is still containing the market perfectly, as you would expect it to. Here's the euro dollar daily chart. Didn't do much this week at all. Matter of fact, even though the ranges were improved, it was a fairly tame week. Here's the pound dollar. It did actually make a move, and we'll talk about those intraday ranges here when we get to the intraday look. Here's the Aussie dollar. We talked about that 13 buy signal last week, and you can see that caused the bounce there. Here's a look at the New Zealand dollar. Not much there, and the pound yen for a cross pair. It was a fairly flat week overall, flatter than we've seen in a while anyways. So here's a look now. We're going to take a look at the 30-minute charts of the various symbols so we can see what they did this week. Euro dollar, high to low for the week was only 150 pips, and it did that whole range in the last few hours of the week as well. So, like I said, that's not the best. We saw 260 pips last week, so this is barely half of that, and certainly only two decent days of trading on the euro dollar. Here's a look at the pound dollar. You can see here from high to low, a little bit better, 350 pips, and we did have some gains there this week on the pound dollar. So nice overall move on that one. But most of the rest of the pairs were not overly exciting. So what do we get for the next week ahead? Well, let's take a look at the economic data that's coming out. Kind of paint ourselves a picture. Sunday, retail sales out of New Zealand going into Monday. That's Monday morning over there. Preliminary GDP out of Japan. The right move HPI. That's the house price index out of the UK. New motor vehicle sales out of Australia is probably not going to rock the boat. Going into Monday, trade balance out of Europe and Italy in particular. Canada's got foreign securities purchases. U.S. has Empire State Manufacturing Index. We've got capacity utilization and industrial production here in the U.S. in the morning. CB leading index out of Australia that night, along with their monetary policy meeting minutes from the last Bank of Australia rate announcement. UK does a data dump at 4:30 a.m. Eastern Time Tuesday morning. CPI, PPI, RPI, and all the related stuff. You've got ZOO economic sentiment out of Europe. US PPI in the morning on Tuesday. Housing market index here in the US. Tick long-term purchases, 4 p.m. Eastern Time in the US when the stock market closes on Tuesday. We've got the MI leading index out of Australia that night. Monetary policy statement out of Japan, and the press conference from the Bank of Japan following that. So that'll make the yen-based pairs a little interesting. Remember the last meeting they announced their quantitative easing program. So we'll see if they have anything new to say there. We've got current account out of Europe Wednesday morning. We've got ZOO economic sentiment out of Switzerland. U.S. has a lot Wednesday. Building permits, housing starts, crude oil inventory, the minutes from the last Fed meeting. None of them are critical. New Zealand's got their PPI. Japan's got trade balance and flash manufacturing PMI. China's got the same. Then the Bank of Japan monthly report going into Thursday. Trade balance out of Switzerland. German PPI. We've got the flash manufacturing and services PMI data out of France, Germany, and the broad European sector in the wee hours of the morning over here in the U.S. Thursday, retail sales out of the UK. Wholesale inventories out of Canada Thursday at 8 a.m., 8:30 a.m., and the CPI out of the U.S., along with the weekly unemployment claims data. That CPI is one of our big three each week, so we'll be half size ahead of that. Flash manufacturing PMI out of the U.S., consumer confidence out of Europe, Philly Fed, existing home sales, CB leading index, all out of the U.S., and then natty gas. We got a FOMC member speaking at 1:30 p.m. on Thursday. Credit card spending out of New Zealand that night, and really nothing left for the week. Nothing on Friday at all. You're down to CPI. Keep in mind the week after this one is going to be the Thanksgiving holiday here in the U.S., where we do only trade Sunday night, Monday night, Tuesday night, Wednesday going into Thanksgiving, and Thursday, Thanksgiving itself, going into Friday. Pretty much dead in the markets typically. So this week is our last full week before that, but there's a lot of stuff here that we could see some movement off of. We'll be half size one night for sure. That's ahead of the CPI. Should be probably full size the rest of the time. We'll be in the lab helping you out. If you haven't taken a trial of our services, feel free to. For $2.97, you can get all of our trade calls for 2 weeks in the Forex, stocks, and futures markets if you wish. And if you like our videos, please like them on YouTube. It does help us out. Have a great trading week.